Welcome back, everybody. So glad you could be with me here today. Walter at the workbench. So, in conclusion for today, I wanted to share with you sort of what my expectations are for the shootout. And I guess to demonstrate that, I could take my number 4, which is set up, is sharpened and set up exactly the same as I did for those. It has a little bit more open of a mouth, so I probably could tighten that down just a little, but this is the way I use this plane. So my expectations are to take as thin a cut as I possibly can, take as wide a cut as we can based on the way I sharpened them. I did give them a little camber, but the real goal is, does the smoother do what we're asking it to do? And that is smooth. There is a lot of tear out right here, right here. This corner is totally torn out. This is a corner that does not want to behave. That goes all the way down into here. Tear out here, here, all throughout here. And this is what was left from my number 6 foreplane when I was just making it flat, straight, and true. So in this section here, the wood is pretty clear. So if you take your smoother and you go through there and you put it on a little bit of an angle, it's easy peasy. Now, I would expect that to be nothing less than smooth and ready for finish. Now we do have a little bit of tear out here and a pin knot here. A little bit of reversing grain right there and another tear out there. So how you deal with reversing grain is you skew your plane, you take a superfine cut. And there you go. That's polished. So those are going to be some of the expectations I'm going to have for the 4.5s. What I am also expecting is to be able to cover more ground with the larger, wider blade. The heavier plane should aid in the process. I got rid of most of the tear out, but there's still some deep tear out here. So that's my expectations. If I might ask, if there's anything that you would like to learn from the shootout, that you please put it down in the comments section. If there's something special you want to learn about any of these planes or the process itself, Remember, we are not flattening the wood anymore. We are smoothing it. That's not to say we couldn't flatten. But there is a likelihood that if you're working out an area of torn grain, and it's still flat. But if you're working on an area of torn grain, you could create a slight hollow. So that's about it, everybody. It's been a long road getting to this point, and I'm excited to do the shootout. I may have to break it up into a few videos, but we'll get them out as fast as I can. And if you didn't notice, there was a Free Tool Friday winner, and I placed that comment in my posts. I also placed a comment on the Free Tool Friday video and pinned it. And I also placed a comment on the winner's comment. So I'm hoping through those 3 or 4 things that I'll get a reply. So that's about it, everybody. Time for me to call it quits for the day. Like, subscribe, and share. And head out to your shop and go make some shavings, big or small. Walter out.